In 2019, the horror film Haunt was released. The movie was pretty well received by both audiences and critics for the most part. The movie features a group of college kids going to a haunted house out in the sticks and getting more than they bargained for. While many praised the movie, I think it fell a little short and certainly wasn't in the same league as the House's October Built franchise. Regardless, the movie isn't bad by any means and has several pretty good scenes along with a great ending. Now, one of my main criticisms of the movie has to do with how the group just seemed to stumble or mistakenly find this haunted house. The group is just driving out in the country, takes a turn trying to get away from someone they believe is following them. Then they just end up at the haunted house. So if they'd never gone left on the road, there would essentially be no movie. Now in general, there was no build-up or suspense, I thought, in this movie to the house. They weren't looking for an extreme haunted house. They just kind of fell into it. Now, like all horror movies, this film is plagued with some pretty bad decisions. The biggest one, obviously, is when the ghost mask killer appears. He says everything is an act, but of course it's coming across as really creepy. For some reason, the group doesn't make him take off his mask. Then, having to backtrace their steps and go through the haunted house and go through the tunnel, they let sarcastic Evan through first and then Ghostface through second. Evan just leaves and heads outside, and they don't keep an eye on Ghostface. So of course Ghostface seals the tunnel, separating the group, and then heads off to kill Evan with a hammer. Another bad decision in the movie is the group surrenders their phones for some reason. They know nothing about this house, nor the people running it, yet they're willing to give up their phones. There's no reason they should be doing this. It's Halloween night, so it's not like the house should be concerned about the scares going on the internet or people finding out because they're filming it. Still, most of the issue with this concerns their ignorance about the home. They're asked to sign a waiver, which indicates this is probably going to be a pretty extreme haunted house and not something they're equipped to handle. Now, one thing the movie does is it tries to create horror from the appearances of the people running the house. The majority, when they remove their mask, they're covered with tattoos on their face and appear to have altered their faces too to make them scary. Still, I always find it more scary when the deranged, sick bad guy, he just appears to look like a normal person when they take off their mask. For example, if you think back to 8mm, the film starring Nicolas Cage, I found it much creepier with Chris Bauer, who was revealed to be Machine. He just looked like a normal guy rather than some tattooed devil worshiper. Now, one other scene that didn't make sense was around the dude wearing the vampire mask. He's the new guy to the haunt crew or the cult, and the only one without a modified tattooed face. He says the group all has these faces so they can appear scary. He also says the cult told him he will get his face after he does his first kill. The vampire dude says he didn't know they were going to be killing people though. So this is a direct contradiction, as he must have known they were planning on killing people. Now, my final critique of this movie has to do around the haunt in the home. This cult, who obviously takes this event seriously since they're disfiguring their faces, doesn't appear to be attracting people to their house anyways. There's that one girl that was killed earlier on, but there's no other cars around. They could have ditched them, I suppose, but it doesn't seem like the cult has any way or they're doing anything to lure unsuspecting victims. That's just the sense I get. I could be wrong on this. Comment, let me know. Also, one other thing I have to point out is, how are these people functioning in society appearing like this? This just doesn't seem smart, and it makes them so easy to track down in case someone actually does escape. Now, I do have to say, around this movie, the last 20 to 30 minutes of it were the best, and it certainly picked up quite a bit of steam from early on. Main character Harper has some good kill scenes, especially the one with the shotgun. In addition, the final scene where she traps and kills the clown face one at her house was a terrific ending. So this raises the question, will we see a sequel to Haunt? It appears this is in development as of now. Now there's no word as to what it'll be about or the storyline, but I've got a few thoughts as to what they could do. One angle would be to explore the cult a little more. Even though they're all dead, they could introduce more cult members from different cities and other haunts. The other route they could go would be to a prequel, although this really wouldn't be that intriguing, as we know Clown and the rest of his crew have also, they're alive for this movie, so in any sort of prequel, we would know they survived. Also, they could just go a different direction altogether with some type of movie around an extreme haunted house. That's possible too. Bottom line is, we should know soon enough. Hopefully that this comes out in the next few years. I'll be curious to see it.